Let me take you through the top news. Inside information coming in on Manipur as the Prime Minister, we believe, is taking stock of the situation, and this is the exact strategy that the BJP is currently following when it comes to Manipur. India Today has accessed the plan and strategy of the centre on how to deal with the violence that's currently consumed the state over the last 3 months. Prime Minister Modi has personally been monitoring the situation. We're told the Prime Minister has been briefed at least 3 times a day. He's being appraised about the situation regularly. The Home Minister is in touch with the Meitei and Kuki leaders. Top priority to get the communities to talk. Representatives of the communities to come on one table and get them to talk and discuss on how to calm the situation that's really left the state marred with violence and literally cut off connectivity of many villages. People there struggling and suffering. They're crying for peace. Many areas still volatile. We hear of violence reported in different parts of Manipur even till this date. And we hear that the government is currently focusing on how to bring peace and restore law and order in the state of Manipur at the earliest. The government is hopeful of hopeful of a breakthrough in the situation itself at this point. We are going to cut across to Rahul Kaval joining us live for more on that. Rahul, go on as we hear much of the allegations by the parliamentarians, opposition party leaders in the parliament, that Prime Minister Modi isn't being part of a debate in both houses. Here we know that there is a lot of activity happening in terms of ensuring peace is restored at the earliest. The inside strategy that India Today has accessed, please do explain for us.
A high-level briefing by senior sources from the government and several very important details emerging in this briefing. Point number one, that mobile phone from which that horrific Manipur naked women being paraded video was shot has been recovered by intelligence agencies and security forces. And with that, the government hopes to establish the entire chain of events leading up to the leakage of that video one day before Parliament. Most importantly, the case of those women being paraded naked has been handed over to the Central Bureau of Investigation tomorrow, and we are breaking this here on India Today. The government will tell the Supreme Court that the Manipur video horror case should be handed over to a court outside Manipur so that there is a free and fair probe. This matter likely to be heard in Assam. At least that's what the government in its affidavit will tell the Supreme Court tomorrow. And this information here, Nabila, breaking on India Today. The other thing, questions being asked about the involvement of the Prime Minister. We are told that there have been daily conversations between the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, the Home Secretary, senior officials in the Ministry of Home Affairs on the situation in Manipur. The opposition alleging that he was in the United States, that he's been in France, that he's been jet-setting, globe-trotting. From what we've gathered, the Prime Minister very dismayed by what happened in Manipur, keeping a very close eye on developments, giving instructions to his senior officials about what needed to be done. At this moment, the government's top priority is to try and ensure that there is peace and reconciliation. For this, senior government officials from the Ministry of Home Affairs speaking to community leaders, former government officials, both in the Meitei and in the Kuki community, and efforts on to try and bring them to a negotiating table. Opinion amongst these community leaders divided. Some of them want that there should be separate administrative zones for the Kuki and the Meitei community, but others saying, okay, let's try and heal the immediate wound first and we can discuss administrative changes later. So that's how opinion is divided. The government hopes that they should be able to bring both the communities to the negotiating table soon. Nabila.
Well, what we see, Ashutosh Mishra, correspondent, is right now in Manipur, Rahul, and the visuals that come in are certainly worrisome, with young people, young boys holding arms, holding guns, guarding their villages, bunkers set up all over. It looks like a mini war zone. And this was left to fester for at least 3 months. The best possible solution at this point, Rahul, do you think that the government can adopt? Is there something that they're really mulling over with immediate effect?
There are 35,000 extra security personnel from the Army, the Central Reserve Police Force, the Central Armed Police Forces, that have been sent to Manipur. They have created a buffer zone between the Kuki-dominated hill areas and the Maitai-dominated valley areas. And an effort is on to try and bring the poppy cultivation that happens in Myanmar smuggled into places in Manipur to a halt at the earliest possible. Instructions also given to try and complete the border fencing project. So far, 10 kilometers of the Manipur Myanmar border has been fenced. A wartime effort is on to try and ensure that you have a permanent fencing that can be created at the earliest possible. You asked about peace and reconciliation. That's what the government hopes to try and achieve. So far, there hasn't been a breakthrough, but they are confident that they keep at it in the back channel dialogue that's happening. Some way can possibly be found, Nabila.
Right. Rahul, we are also told as part of this plan that the centre has, more importantly, what we're seeing here is that almost on a daily basis, at least thrice, there are calls going out to the Prime Minister. Despite him jet-setting, like you did mention, he's had a hectic schedule all the way from the United States, France. He's been moving around and even at this point was in Rajasthan a little earlier today. So he's busy. He's yet getting briefed by the Home Minister at least thrice a day on the situation in Manipur. And they're having hectic discussions even between the Meitei and the Kuki tribes, and a possible decision could be tabled anytime soon is what we are told.
Yeah, and the government says that they have no plans at this moment of removing N. Biren Singh as the Chief Minister. He seems to have the favor of the government at this moment. What happens in the future might be something that they're looking at, but their clear top priority at this moment is to bring the law and order situation under control. We are told since the 18th of July, there hasn't been any other death in the state of Manipur. So far, a total of 150 people, 147 confirmed killings and 3 people missing. So 150 deaths have been reported since the time this violence began. Nabila, if I have to anchor in a few minutes.
Thank you, Rahul. Yes, please go right away. Thank you for bringing us this big update. Of course, at this point, what India Today has accessed, Rahul Kanwal has brought us that news there. A strategy that's being adopted by the centre is now to ensure that they are going to bring Kuki and the Meitei representatives on one table. Discussions are underway and a quick resolution should come out on the matter. It's 85 days and counting. Violence still in different parts of Manipur that's been reported. Thankfully, no deaths in the last week. Rahul gave us an insight into the situation in Manipur, more importantly, what the government is doing to deal with it.